Hello again, friends. I wanted to make a video for you around our recently announced Aptos CCIP support. You may have seen some of my previous videos on CCIP in the past, where I used Hard Hat and Foundry and Remix on Ethereum EVM-based chains, as well as walking through Solana. I'm excited to see CCIP continue to expand across new blockchain technologies like Aptos, and this is the first Move language-based chain to be supported, so it's pretty exciting. While much of the CCIP architecture you're used to, it's going to remain the same behind the scenes, but there's some key differences in Aptos versus EVMs I wanted to cover. So I want to walk you through that now, so you'll best be set up for success as you start to move value on-chain both to Aptos and from Aptos. Then we'll walk through the GitHub repo that our team has built so we can create some real stuff on-chain together and see how everything works. Sound good? Okay, so one of the first differences you will encounter with Aptos is the account model. Aptos uses an account-based model where code, called modules, and data, called resources, are stored directly within accounts. The resource model is part of the Move language on Aptos, and it provides strong ownership and access control, ensuring resources cannot be duplicated or accidentally destroyed. Aptos also uses explicit access. Modules define functions that can explicitly access and modify the resources stored within an account. Assets are also fungible. Tokens are typically handled via the fungible asset standard, where assets are stored as resources within an owner's account. Now, your existing environment will largely remain the same. You need to ensure you're using node version 20 or higher, and that you have additionally installed the Aptos CLI, which will allow you to create Aptos accounts on testnet, and then we can build things together. Now, if you prefer using an EOA-based account, you'll be able to import that private key and code against that. Personally, I'm using Petra Wallet for Aptos and MetaMask for Ethereum, but you should feel free using whatever is your preferred choice. Now, you'll need to make sure that both of these wallets have some testnet tokens in them, which you can get from our link faucet as well as through Aptos' faucet. I've done all of this ahead of time, so if you prefer to just follow along in this video, you can put me at 2x or 3x and speed along, so you should feel free to do that, as well as pausing right now if you'd like to go set all that up. Now, something new when doing CCIP with the Move build system is a manifest file called move.toml. This file defines the package, its dependencies, and any named addresses it references. Named addresses are simply human-readable aliases for on-chain hexadecimal addresses. So this makes the Move code cleaner, easier to read, and simpler to manage. When you compile a Move package, the compiler swaps out those aliases, like we have one for CCIP router, with the actual address values defined in the move.toml file. Now, in the Aptos starter kit up on our GitHub repo, which you can get here, the example modules such as CCIP message sender and CCIP message receiver, those need to interact with the core CCIP modules that are already deployed on the Aptos testnet for you. That's why you'll see the addresses section in the Move TOML files is so important. It provides those references for you. Now, if all this sounds like a lot, don't worry. It's all fairly simple once we start building with Aptos, and you'll find familiar CCIP constructs like the CCIP message and data and senders and receivers. All of that's available for you. I'm going to jump into some code next, and we'll do this together. We'll build a couple of things. First, walk you through token transfers. This is where we send some burn and mint tokens across Ethereum Sequoia to the Aptos testnet. And then next, we'll cover some arbitrary messaging, where we send data from Ethereum to trigger program execution on the destination Aptos chain. And finally, we'll have some fun with programmatic token transfers, where we'll send both tokens and data in a single message from Ethereum to trigger program execution with token transfers on Aptos. Sound like fun? Are you ready? Let's begin. Okay, so a couple of housekeeping things first. Let's make sure we're all set up. So to get to the documentation of everything I'm going to cover, if you want to go through it yourself, there's a bunch of prerequisites that the docs team did a really good job of just walking through everything. I want to show you how to find all of that. So if we just go to the URL I mentioned, dev.chain.link, you want to click on docs. We're going to go over to CCIP. And down here on the left, if you scroll down, is where you'll see all the different tutorials across the different chains. So we've got EVM for Ethereum, we've got Solana, and now we have Aptos. So what we're going to want to do is, the first piece is, if you click on implement CCI receiver, this is going to tell you if there's any differences in the underlying architecture. And you know, as I've mentioned before, this is going to seem very familiar. You know, on Ethereum, it's the EVM to message, right? So it's just an any to Aptos message. You'll see a lot of this is very easy to follow, but it's all going to be implemented in the GitHub repo too. So look at all of this as just information for you to go through if you want to implement anything manually. It's totally fine. You can do all of that yourself. But what we're going to do is we're going to do Aptos as a destination. And this is where we're going to go across the couple of different scenarios, right? And so if we look, message structure is going to seem very familiar. This is that EVM to any message I talked about. And this page is going to walk through, and it's just kind of like going to explain the receiver, where you need to encode things, all of that, just as background, extra info if you need it. And again, don't worry, because all of this is implemented in the repo. You can literally just start building inside the repo. The team's done a good job of creating a bunch of scripts that we'll walk through so that you can get up and running and start doing things right away. But this is complete documentation. It'll go through, it'll explain each thing, and give you examples as well. All right. So if we go over to prereqs, I mentioned this, we're going to want to make sure that we've got node 20 or higher. We're going to want to pull down the GitHub starter kit. We're going to want to install the Aptos starter kit. And then we're going to want to make sure that we fund our wallets. And so one of the things, if you haven't checked it out first, is you have the ability to fill up your wallets first on faucets.chain.link. So you can see here, I can go in and I can get some Sequoia, and I can get some Sequoia link. And you'll see this wallet, I've set up a specific account in MetaMask, so 941B. And you can see over here, 941B, I just call it CCIP Aptos. And you can see I've already preloaded that with one ETH here. It's a little less because I was just running some test transactions. We got 50 link, and then these are the burn and mint tokens. Now, if you've seen my other videos on CCT, you can actually see how you can create your own burn and mint tokens. You can use the token manager. You can do that both graphically or through code. But if you're just looking to transfer tokens in an environment like this, where we just want to build something and we need access to those tokens, we really don't want to spend time minting them and doing all of that. So this is just a way for you to grab these type of tokens, okay? And you can get them up here. It's in the docs. Sometimes this one's a little harder to find. You're going to see it under tutorials, acquire test tokens. You can see here 941B, and I am 941B, and I can go ahead and just mint a token. Let me make sure everybody sees that coming off here. You can see it's just a little bit of ETH to go ahead and mint that. And then we'll get some additional burn and mint tokens. You can see right here, it's dripping, but then it'll be available for tokens. So that's the first thing you should do. You know, as you're getting this stuff set up, you can see, boom, there it is. So now we got 5.999. So we're all set with our burn and mint tokens. We're all set with our ETH and our link. Next thing is the Aptos CLI. So you're going to find all of that over at aptos.dev. You'll see the Aptos CLI overview here on CLI. You can install it with Mac. I use Brew for everything on my Mac. So I went and installed that over here. And just to verify, I'll show you in here. You'll know that you've got it installed. If you just type Aptos, you can see. Let me move this up a little more for you all. Everything's in here. You can get information about your account. So I want to make sure that I've got some tokens in there. You can see I've got 4.99. I've pulled that ahead of time from here, which is their testnet faucet. You can also see that on their page. I mentioned that I'm using Petra Wallet, so you can see that here. I am on testnet, and I created an account called CCIP Aptos. So you can see, same thing, there's a script to go ahead and give yourself some burn and mint tokens if you want to go from Aptos with Ethereum as a destination, you can. Here is the Aptos coins that I pulled down, and you can see the address 8C35, 8C35. I can go ahead and mint some of those, and you can see it's minted. It's given us some more. Here we are on the Aptos blockchain explorer. Always so fast. That's what I love about these move-based languages. They're so fast. Come up here, and you can see we got another coin. So we can grab that. You can get a couple. Gas is very cheap here. So I can click a couple, and you'll just see the speed of this chain, right? I'm already at 8, so everything's all across. So we're set. We've got Petra set up here. We got Ethereum set up here. Everything is good to go. If we go back into VS Code here, you can see the balance is updated. So you'll notice that what I'm doing here ahead of time is I've loaded the private key to that EOE Petra wallet so that I can use it here within the CLI and with all of these scripts, okay? Now, let's move this down here. When you download the GitHub, so here's the GitHub right here. You're going to go ahead and clone it, and you'll see the team's done a good job of just walking step by step of how to get everything set up here. So inside the Aptos starter kit, it's going to show you how to go ahead and set Aptos configuration to use testnet, and then to go ahead and use your wallet that you'd like to use. And you can see here it's setting up, it's going to set up an account. My account is that wallet that you just saw. And then you have all of your environment file set up. Obviously, I'm not going to show you mine because it's got the private key. Not that it matters. It's just funny money. But here is the example that we include in the GitHub repo. So you can see here, it's the full Aptos starter kit. What you're going to want to do ahead of time is you're going to want to come in here, and you're going to want to have your Aptos private key and your Ethereum private key. So in my env file, which I just copied that over, those two wallets that I just showed you, they're all set up and good to go. So we're all set there. Now, if you want to look at how this is implemented from that, receiver, CCIP message receiver, maybe you want to go ahead and implement some of those interfaces yourself, you're going to find that in receiver. So everybody can see the way that this repo is set up is we've separated out into destination and source. So you can see if I want to go from Aptos to an EVM environment, I've got everything here. Here's how my receiver is implemented. And down here, you'll see if I want to go from EVM to Aptos, which is what I'm going to be showing, we have that ability as well. You've got little utility functions and everything in here. So don't worry, nothing that you got to go in here line by line, but you'll see it is implemented the way that you would expect. We've got our CCIP receiver, message received, to EVM message, everything that if you've been doing CCIP before, this is the main library right here, EVM to message. Not required for these tutorials, but I just thought it would be good to show you so that you can see where all of that stuff is located. So you can go at your own free time and have fun. So let's move on. One of the things in the beginning intro, you'll notice that I explained was that move.toml file, okay? And so this is where we're going to have a bunch of variable names that are going against those addresses, okay? So this is where CCIP and MCMS, all of that is going to be out on the testnet on Aptos. So this is pointing to real addresses that you can go and check, as well as the on-ramp and routers for CCIP. So not required for this tutorial, but good to know that all of that is set up and good to go in there. So now that we've gotten that all out of the way and all of your prerequisites, there's another thing I want to show you. Let's go ahead and close this transaction here. I've shown you the starter kit. We walked through the CLI. We've got all of our tokens here, and feel free to, pause this and go back if you don't have any of that set up yet. I did want to show you, in the CCIP directory, so you can come up in here and you can go and look. You can see all of the links. So this is live and on Aptos. I always find this is neat to show so you can see everything that it's connected. Now remember, in CCIP, you have both inbound and outbound lanes, and that is where your contracts will sit, and you'll be able to move value through those. So as these lanes continue to expand, you'll have more and more, just by implementing CCIP, you'll have more and more abilities to hit different chains as different things come online. Now, here you can see the APT token and the link token. I always think this is neat. So here you can see Aptos mainnet. If I hit this, you can see here is the actual link token, and it is sitting there out there on Aptos. So all of this stuff is live. You can go in here. You can go ahead and take a look and peruse around on your Saturday afternoon like me, right? I got a cup of coffee and hanging out here with you. I think it's always good to kind of show this stuff, okay? So that is everything. That's where you find it in the documentation. That's where you can download stuff. Let's go ahead into Visual Studio. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to send a burn and mint token that we have there. So we're going to send, let me come back over here. We're going to send one of these guys right here, one of these burn and mint tokens. We are going to send across using CCIP to Aptos. So it's going to come up over here in our Petra wallet, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to look through all of these different scripts here that I showed you. So if we want to move from EVM to Aptos, we're going to go to the EVM to Aptos folder, right? And this is where you're going to see the different messages, tokens, sending messages, being able to check, get the latest messages. Since we're going to send a token, we're going to go right into send token router. Now, what's good about this type script here, this little script, is it's going to call the EVM to message. That's the most important thing. If you've done CCIP before, that's your main thing. You don't want to screw it up and send, wrong gas arguments or any kind of wrong arguments. So this script is nice because it's all set up for you. You should feel free to go in here and modify it. But that's all it's doing is it's basically, setting everything up, and then it has the ability to call in for you. So, the main thing, it's going to select the chains, it's going to build the CCIP message, it's going to calculate the fees, calling that get fee method, it's going to improve the tokens, and then it's going to execute. And that's what you're seeing here, right? It's building it all up, recipient, token, amount. You can see here we're encoding our arguments, right? So we've got, the gas limit. We have any kind of extra arguments here. It's going to go ahead and, log all of this stuff for you. So we're going to see that come down in terminal. And then remember, just like all CCIP, we have the abilities to pay both in native as well as in link. So, right here, if you went to the faucet and you weren't able to get native tokens, don't worry. You can go ahead and you can pay in link here. And then it's going to tell us, transaction sent, give us all that information. And we have the ability to go and look all of that up on the CCIP Explorer, which I'll do for you. Right now, I've noticed it takes on testnet here, it takes 15, 20 minutes to send this. So obviously, get a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage while this is going across on testnet, and then come back. You can call, you'll see over here, you can check the message execution state. So you can do that programmatically, or you can just do it right on the Explorer. But this is basically how we're gonna send it, and it's a nice script called send token router TS. Now, this is where you're gonna see if if everything is set up correctly yet or not for you. So the thing that we can do is we can check and make sure that our configuration, that you have everything in Aptos set up correct before you run any of this stuff, right? So I did show you before that we have the balance, but what I'm going to call now is the ability to check into our configuration. So you can see I have been set up on testnet. I did give it the private key for that Petra wallet. Here's my public key. This is the account. Where's this account coming from, Dave? This is the account that I showed you up here with the Petra. So you can see C35. That's our account. And if we go back, you can see C35. So that's all set up. And then this is what we're going to have for our URL. Right? So everything looks good there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to call into this script that we just covered, the CCIP send. Let me put this in here. So you can see this is our send token router. Everybody see up here, CCIP send token router. Our source chain is going to be Ethereum Sequoia. I'm going to pay native. I'm going to send across a 0.001 of the burn-in mint token. You can see my Aptos receiver. So this is my wallet address there is 35. So we'll go ahead and run this. And you can see this is everything right up here. It's parsing out. We're going to pay the base fee. We've got a 20% buffer. We've got the approval transaction has been sent. So now we just wait a little bit. This is where I take a sip of my coffee. Sometimes I'll whistle a little tune, right? I got lots of Dungeons and Dragons dice here on my table. You can probably see from the video too, so I can throw them around. Look at that, approval transaction confirmed. After 3 confirms, router approved. Transaction now has been sent. So, if you're familiar with CCIP, this is all of the, blessed and confirmed, all of the stuff that it needs to do first on the source chain before it starts moving across to the destination. So we'll just wait for that. And then we're going to get the actual message that we can go ahead and look up. Okay, so we've got our transaction confirmed. You can see the transaction was successful on Ethereum. So if we go ahead and copy that over, take a look. And you can see this was a success that we moved, and we have our burn in mint token. Everybody can see right here. That's what we filled our wallet with. And you can see we paid in native. So it took the ETH and it went ahead and wrapped it. And everything is good on the Ethereum side. So that's our source. Now we'll go back over here and you'll see CCIP in action. All right, let's go ahead and see. Okay, so you can see we got our message ID. This should be familiar with you if you've done CCIP before. We can see this is an actual message. We're going through all the steps. We're waiting for finality. I love seeing new chains here. So you can see Ethereum, Sequoia, Aptos, testnet. Okay, from our origin to, so you can see this was my, wallet up here. So you can see our B941B. So we're moving this burn in mint from B941B to 8C35 on Aptos. Everybody can see the both addresses are all correct. We're doing 0.001 of those burn in mint tokens. And like I said, because we paid in native, it wrapped it to link. So this is the part we just wait for this transaction to go ahead and finish. So, takes 15 to 20 minutes, I've seen. So go ahead and fast forward. Well, of course, I'm going to pause it right here, and then I'll come back when it's done, and we'll see what our over and under is on the 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, and we have a success. Look at that, folks. We sent a burn in mint token from Ethereum Sequoia to Aptos testnet, and yeah, it took about 20 minutes, right? And we can open this up here. We come across. You'll see right here is our transaction. Let me close these. If we go up in here, and our tokens, right? So it would be the burn and mint tokens. And you can see right over here, we sent 0.001, and that came from our Ethereum wallet. So really cool stuff. We've actually transferred cross-chain a burn and mint token onto Aptos from Ethereum. Now, one of the things I want to show you is execution time. So if you go up here under, it's going to be under CCIP, execution latency. The reason why it takes 15 to 20 minutes, every chain is going to have execution time. Some of them are in seconds, some of them are in minutes. Ethereum supplies finality tag. So we always have to wait for a finality tag on the source chain before CCIP will go ahead and move it across. So 15 minutes is the typical, right? So that's why I said, 15 to 20 minutes, you want to add a 5-minute buffer on there. But that's why when we're doing this, obviously if you were using a different chain, it'd be a little faster. But I think this is the best example of showing moving value from Ethereum into Aptos. Okay. Now let's clean some of these windows up here. We sent value using tokens. Now let's look at sending some arbitrary messages to Aptos, right? So why would we want to do that, Dave, right? Well, token transfer is just simply moving assets across the chain. There's no custom logic that gets executed at the destination or anything like that. When you do messaging, you can send a data payload that's going to be processed by the Aptos module. So this triggers module execution on the destination chain, which is Aptos, and then you can update the module's on-chain state or perform complex logic when that happens. So it's pretty valuable. It's, allows you to do a lot of programmatic things that normally you couldn't if you were just moving value across with assets. So what we're going to do, same folder, we want to go from EVM to Aptos. We're going to go over to the send message router, right? Let me pull this down for you. Again, this is a script that the team is creating so you don't run into any issues when you're going to build that CCIP message. You can go through here. The script is very, very similar. It's going to use the same build CCI message. It's going to encode the arguments the same exact way, extracts messages same exact way. You can pay with native or you can pay with link. All of that is in there. But we now have this message. So you can see here, I'm going to build a CCIP message. Recipient is going to be my Aptos wallet. You can see here, I'm encoding with whatever message we want to go ahead and send. I have my fees. We're going to go ahead and log out that message, and then we're going to do a router contract CCIP send. And then we're going to get a transaction sent, transaction successful. Okay. Then we also have this send message from EVM to Aptos. You can see the CCIP contracts where the router contract is and where the on-ramp, my mouse got bigger there for a second. And then some error handling too. All of that is in there. You should feel free to peruse this, but in essence, it's very similar to what we already looked at, but there is a CCIP message receiver module now. So that receiver module is designed to receive arbitrary data like this. So when its CCIP receive function is called, it's going to decode that data as a string, and then it's going to send back to us a received message event, all of which you'll see in this script is actually doing. So when we go ahead and we want to run this, where you might get an issue, I've seen some people forget this step, is we have to do a create resource account and publisher receiver. I've already done this ahead of time, so you don't have to worry about it. We can just run the script. But this is what's going to go ahead and set up that Aptos account for you to be able to receive messages. We did not need to do this when we were doing the token transfer because we did not have that CCIP message receiver. So we're setting that up now so that we can actually do something on Aptos when we receive that message. So let's go ahead and put together this script of what it would look like. So obviously run this first, create account and publish a receiver. Once you run it, so any other demos that you do, you won't have to run it again as long as you're using the same wallets and everything like that. So I'm going to do this with a nice clear, and then this is the script I'm actually going to run here. All right, now you could see this. You might be like, hey, Dave, what is that? Oh, why is he being a jerk face? All right, hold on. Wow. Being super jerk face. All right, hold on. We will re-record this. Okay. Now, I'm running this script that is going to call into the CCIP message router that we just had up here, okay? And then we're going to have our source chain Sequoia. We're going to actually pay in link for this one. And now my Aptos receiver, don't put in this hexadecimal address. That's the one that I created by running this resource account and publisher receiver. So you'll get a different one with your when you run that script with your wallet and everything. So that's setting up the receiver on Aptos for us. And I'm just going to send this string along that says, let's send messages to Aptos from EVM. Okay, so same thing. It's got to wait for a finality on Ethereum Sequoia. So it'll take a little bit here to verify that the message was sent, and then it'll take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes for that to come across up on the CCIP Explorer. Okay, so we can see that over here. Let's just make sure that that transaction is up on Ethereum. Yep, there it goes. Success, ERC 20, you can see. And this time we did use link. We did not use native. So I'll come back in about 15, 20 minutes, and we'll come up here. And we're going to do something where we're actually going to verify the message too on Aptos. We'll have a script for that once that runs. Now, if we copy, paste that over, you'll see here, just booted off. We're running same things as before. We got our from and to. We're waiting for a finality, so that'll take about 15 minutes on Ethereum. Now, one of the things you could do too, if you don't want to go to the GUI, is you can also run a script that we have here. So we just take the message ID. So you can see we got the CCIP message ID here, ending in 489A. This is going to be this little guy right here. Check message execution state on Aptos, right? So if we go ahead and look at that, you should feel free to come in here and check this one out. It's just a script to go through. It's going to return the same exact thing of what the process is for CCIP. Basically what we're displaying up in the GUI. So go ahead and run that. And you can see it's going to take the full 15 minutes or so. So we'll come back and we'll run that when everything's good to go. Alrighty, we've got a success. Took a little bit longer. This one was about 28, 29 minutes all up. But you'll see everything was successfully sent. This was a message, so this wasn't the token transfer. This was the message. Let's go back over to Visual Studio here, and let's run that script for checking the execution state. And you can see we're getting the same message programmatically that it was a success. So that's reporting directly from Aptos blockchain that it was a success. And now let's go ahead and verify the actual message on Aptos. So we've got a script for that I mentioned. That's this get latest message up here. Okay, we're going to go on to testnet, and we're actually going to receive the message. Okay, so let's do this. Now remember, in here, this is the receiver that I created during that other script where we created a resource account and published a receiver. So your number is going to look a little different if you run this on your own machine. And look at that. So this is going directly from Aptos, and you can see, let's send messages to Aptos from EVM. So everything was a success, folks. So right now, we have transferred burn and mint tokens from Ethereum to Aptos, and now we sent messages from Ethereum to Aptos. Pretty cool stuff. But what is better than doing those separately? It's like the meme goes, right? Why not both? So why don't we try sending tokens and messages so that we can do a cool programmatic token transfer? Okay, let's clear this up. And we're good here. And we'll get rid of this guy too. All right. Now, the final script we're going to use is CCIP token forwarder. All right. Now, a lot of this code is going to be the same. There's nothing to worry about too much here. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to transfer burn and mint tokens, but what we're going to do is when we run this script, we're actually going to go ahead and have our message receiver that we just built in the what we just did in what would we call that? Send message router. That's what we would call that, Dave. Yes, in our send message router that we just did. Okay, so what's cool is think about programmatic token transfers. What's an example? Because I've been given a lot of talks in New York lately on Wall Street. And like the example I like to use for people is, let's say you've got tokenized real estate and it's a piece of commercial real estate and the rent is due on that commercial real estate. Well, you want the ability, based on the number of tokens, each token is going to get a certain amount of rent or a dividend on that. Based on the number of tokens that person have, they may be holding those tokens on multiple blockchains. So what you need to do is then send a message that the rent was actually paid, and then those tokens get transferred based upon that. So that's kind of like what we're going to simulate here, right? Is rather than transferring directly from our Ethereum wallet to our Aptos Petra wallet, what we're going to do is we're going to send a message, and that message is going to tell the CCIP receiver, just like we built in our arbitrary messaging before, right? It's going to go ahead and it's going to tell that, hey, I want you to go ahead and acknowledge, one, that you got this message, and then two, I want you to go ahead and fire off some tokens to that final recipient. So think about this. It could almost be like a clearinghouse, right? Like the rent is paid, but it doesn't send it directly to each address. It sends it to an executor, and then that executor programmatically, checks everything, and then it sends it to those final addresses where it needs to be. So you can see all the code that the team built in here in the CCIP token forwarder. That's basically what it's doing here. A lot of this code is similar. It's going to just go through, get the message ID, and then here's where you see the transfer token pay load. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fire this script off so we can actually see it do something. So what you're seeing here is, remember that this address, the 35, is, where is our browser here? Is up here in our Petra wallet, right? You can see right here. It's funny. Every time I type in my password, y'all, I hear Patrick Collins in my head saying, people can listen to the exact keystrokes that you're doing, but this is just a test while I'm going to blow it away, so don't worry. But I always have those threads Patrick, I have your in my head as a security guy. Tell me not to do that. So we're gonna get more coins here, okay? When we send it. So you'll see here we're getting our login going, our transactions approved, and again this 36717. Remember, that's the resource that I created in Aptos that's going to receive the messages, and then this C8C35, that is our wallet up here that the tokens should appear in. So we're doing some cool, real programmatic transfers of tokens based on messages that are sent cross-chain. So message comes in from Ethereum, says, hey, I want to transfer some of these tokens, and Aptos goes, no problem, dude, I got it. We're going to go ahead and hook it up, and we'll just let this sucker run. So again, we got to wait for finality on Ethereum Sequoia, so that'll take about 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll get the CCIP message ID. We'll be able to check that, and then we'll verify the outcome. We'll go and do that on the Aptos blockchain explorative to verify that it's actually transferring tokens, and everything should be good. So let's give it a second here to fire off. Cool thing about doing these demos too is that all of these transactions will exist forever. So if you're watching this video, hey, future person, if you're watching this video 6 months from now, this still exists. And hopefully this video helps you out. I love that. So let's just verify that this stuff went up on Ethereum first. It did. Success, ERC20, burn and mint token, and a message. So we're looking good, folks. Let's give it 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so we've got a success. Here we go. And it's been about 24 minutes. So we sent tokens from Ethereum to Aptos along with a message. Now, we're going to have to go and see. Now, remember, this is our message receiver. This is our resource that we created in Aptos. So we're going to have to go on chain to make sure that that happened, right? And you can see over here is the transaction where that happened. For example, like if we go to this previous one and we go under events, we should see like our messages from the others. Yep, everybody see right here where we were sending messages. Let's send messages from Aptos, right? So we could see all that on chain in Aptos. Let's look at the one that we just did now, right? So we'll go over to events, and you can see here it's selecting the right amount of the chain and depositing the tokens. Now, if I go up, it should also be in our Petro wallet, right? So burn and mint tokens, it should have sent to C35. And let's look, yep, here it is right here. So 0.001. So you can see this was the one that we did direct, where we sent just tokens and no messages. And this we actually did programmatically, where we sent to our resource that you can see here, and we moved our 717 and we moved tokens over. I hope you had as much fun building on Aptos using CCIP as I did. If you'd like to get additional information on CCIP, be sure to check out our developer report at dev.chain.link. And please, let me and the team know your feedback, your experiences. We're constantly looking to build the best developer experience with CCIP, allowing you to target all chains as they become available in a familiar and a secure way that you're used to. Thank you.